Did you pay for it? Yes or no? Did you pay for it? Yes. See, he can't even answer.
They always flee to Canada. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today we got a story about a Palestinian minister caught embezzling millions of dollars. And where do they go to get away from all of their problems in life? Of course, they came to Canada. We also have president of the First Nations University enriching themselves and their friends. We got a bunch of other stuff here. Let's jump into this. Starting this one off, we got some polling data. This is an updated polling average coming from Simieritsch. And as he says here, Conservative overtook Liberals for the first time since last federal election in my polling average. And there it is. So I trust Simieritsch's numbers here because, well, he's the most accurate. As you see, the Conservatives at 43.3% on average and Liberals at 39.6%. This is good things. Pierre's had 3 polls in a row now where he's winning. People are starting to realize that Mark Carney is a fraud. We've been here before. Yeah, we have. We need to keep pedal to the metal here and keep exposing these guys. Next up, we got this one here. Bank of Canada may abandon core inflation as preferred measure, Deputy Governor says. Central Bank focused on underlying inflation in the last 2 interest rate decisions. As Stephen's pointing out here, the Bank of Canada Deputy Governor just warned you about an issue the country's largest investor already knew. Capital has been fleeing Canada for years now. It's just getting worse now with Mark Carney. Obviously, what's happening with Donald Trump isn't helping either, and yet Carney doesn't seem to be in a hurry to get a deal with Donald Trump. Oh, right, that's because he's 91% invested in America, so it doesn't affect him. Got this one here. New study finds from 2020 to 2024, Canada's GDP per capita saw the worst 5-year decline since the Great Depression. Turns out importing millions of unskilled immigrants from the third world is bad economics. Yeah, you bet it is. We used to have the best immigration system. Now we have the worst. We used to bring in doctors and engineers, and as I've said before, now we're bringing in people who attack the doctors and engineers. And here's Canada down here, minus 0.4 real GDP per capita. Currently, it seems the Liberals are destabilizing our democracy, and then they're going to implement a digital ID to get further control over our lives. Much like we just seen in the UK. That is exactly what they just did. Import all the gangsters, goons, and goblins from the third world, and then import a digital ID tied to being able to get a job because there's so much crime that this is the only way we can handle it now. Even though they created the problem. This is much like antivirus software. One might think an antivirus software company could create a virus and then create the solution to the virus. Does that happen? Moving ahead, we've got quite the story here. We've got Jacqueline Ottman, president of the First Nations University of Canada, was involved in empire building and nepotism, basically favoring family and friends. It says while the review was being finalized, Ottman fired the key whistleblower. A whistleblower came out against her and she fired this person. This should be against the law. Whistleblowers are protected in Canada. She should be going to jail for 15 years if I were in charge.
Jacqueline Ottman became president of First Nations University back in late 2021. It did not take long for concerns to emerge. In 2023, the board launched an investigation of dozens of allegations. The scathing report that emerged found Ottman was involved in 9 cases of nepotism, hiring friends and family into her circle of favor. And it found she violated many university financial and governance policies. The report concluded she was empire building. After the investigation was launched, Ottman fired the key whistleblower, Jason Wong, who was the university's VP of Finance and Administration. Investigators found that firing was at least in part retaliatory.
VP of Finance blows the whistle on her for her scumbag hiring and tactics here, taking advantage of taxpayer funds, and then she fires him. This needs to be criminally prosecuted.
Alan Adam was a vice chair of the university's board that commissioned the investigation. He concluded Ottman should be fired.
We need a good person in there that is going to be there for the best interests of us, the people, and not just their own interests.
He says the board chair at the time agreed she should be fired, but a group of new board members, mostly First Nations chiefs, had a different view.
They said we're behind our president 100%. Right away, that was their position. We're behind her. Whatever investigations happen, let them happen.
Adam says he and the board chair were pushed out. He worries that history is repeating itself. 15 years ago, this university was in turmoil while being led by a board made up of mostly First Nations chiefs. Ottawa and the provincial government cut the university's funding.
I guess really what we're talking about is the loss of confidence by this government in this institution. So what we've done is said we won't be renewing funding.
Funding was restored after new rules were established, banning politicians from the board. But recently, the chief-led organization that runs the university decided to once again give chiefs the majority.
You've got them meddling again and potentially protecting the president, appointing people who will support the president.
This just falls into exactly what I've been saying on the channel. Corrupt chiefs taking advantage of their bans, taking advantage of billions of taxpayer dollars. They sell out their own people, enrich themselves. Their own people don't even have proper roads, clean drinking water. It's disgraceful. All these corrupt chiefs need to be thrown in the slammer. Her getting fired is not good enough. She needs criminal prosecution. She should be in jail for 15 years. All of the money, all of the nepotism involved. Tally that up, double it, and give her a fine. There needs to be serious punishment for this criminal crap in our country.
Ottman has not replied to CBC's request for an interview. In an email, the board chair says the organization has done a comprehensive review of the reports and it has complete confidence in the president. Jeff Leo.
Yeah, the board is completely corrupt and paid off. I'm going to be adding these losers to my list. On the side of my chart here, which is not public yet, these are just things I'm working on, but I've got overpaid First Nation chiefs. I've been adding bits here slowly. You can see she's been added to this. I'm going to make a list of all these people and we're going to start making ties and connections. And I bet you it leads back to the Liberals. Got this one here. Breaking. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, Morena Party presents new anti-meme law. Are you kidding me? If passed, it would make it possible to imprison people for up to 6 years for posting memes, GIFs, or videos online that humiliate politicians and officials. Are you kidding me? This is some serious draconian stuff. They have no problem with all the gangsters and cartels down there, but the memes, those are the real problem. This is disgraceful and shameful. Yeah, exactly. Meme them until they cry, then make memes about them crying. Sun Tzu, the art of war. Next up, we got bombshell news here. Palestinian Transport Minister Tariq Zurab was sacked by the Palestinian Authority for embezzling nearly $5 million. To put a face to the name, this guy here, who just discovered that peanut butter and honey is a good combination, says he has now fled to Canada after he was fired under accusations of embezzlement. The firing comes amid a broader crackdown on corruption by the Palestinian Authority to comply with Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan. It goes on to say here, Palestinian news site Sama reports that corruption suspicions have several components among granting licenses and approvals in violation of official procedures. In related cases, Nazmi Muhanna, head of the Palestinian Crossings Authority, was also dismissed from his post after becoming wanted on corruption suspicions. There's also this guy, Arabi Al-Ajid, reports that Muhanna is suspected of antiquities smuggling and has failed to appear for questioning in the past 2 weeks, apparently staying outside of Israel's borders. There's a lot of corruption and embezzling and money laundering, all sorts of chaos going on here. And what do we have here? Dahlia posting this one. Representative Office of Canada to the Palestinian Authority. Canada's representative Graham Daddles met with Minister of Transportation Tariq Zarub to explore opportunities for the collaboration and reinforce Canada's strong partnership with the Palestinian Authority. So this is back in January. This guy meets with Canada's representative, then he's caught embezzling $5 million and then flees to Canada. Canada has become the safe haven for criminals, criminal masterminds, street candy cartels. It's unbelievable. And yet people still keep voting for these Liberals. Yeah, let's just have more crime. This crime is going to catch up with them. They're going to get caught in crossfire. They're going to get caught in something. They're going to start losing family members. And people are like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have voted for those people, those Liberals that enabled this kind of garbage in our country. I see a cabinet position or maybe an ambassadorship. I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Carney appoints him to something. Got this one here from the Globe and Mail. Canadian Tire franchisee fined $111,000 for violating temporary foreign workers program. Yep, we heard about this one. Now it's coming down. Canadian Tire, not so Canadian after all. At least that franchisee. Got this one here. Doug Ford doubling down on his plan to pull Crown Royal off LCBO shelves because Doug Ford is an absolute buffoon in response to Ontario bottling plant closure. I should remind everyone, Crown Royal is made in Manitoba. It's a Canadian product. And Doug Ford is an idiot.
As sure as I'm standing here and message to all the bigwigs at Diageo, I swear to God, those bottles of Crown Royal are coming off the LCBO shelves. When the last person walks out through that door, we're going to make sure LCBO takes off their brands because we need to stick together. I've sent a message.
What is he doing? This is not a problem in Canada. What is he doing? This guy's an idiot. Follow the money. Yeah, you bet. There's something in it for Doug Ford. That's what it seems like. He's banning products made in Canada. Don't be surprised if Diageo retaliates by moving the brands that are produced in Canada for the US, like Smirnoff, elsewhere. I mean, we got Brian Lilly pointing this out here. I don't want to give Doug Ford any ideas. He's already banned Russian stumbling juice, American stumbling juice, and is threatening to ban all Diageo products like Crown Royal. Yet we still have products from China despite their tariffs on us. Kidnapping Canadians, economic warfare. Makes sense? Follow the money. What's in it for Doug Ford? Is Doug Ford compromised by China? And where's the outrage from Doug Ford where Mark Carney moved the headquarters of Brookfield from Toronto to New York just a few months ago? No outrage on that one? Or do they have the same well-connected, well-funded political Chinese friends? Something stinks here and it smells really bad, and it's not stumbling juice. Maybe it's this. Moving ahead, we've got this one here from Table Salt. A caller on a Punjab talk radio show in Canada casually says that a pizza shop owner he knows sold 39 limas, this is international work permits, at $40,000 a piece and paid student workers $4 an hour. That is deplorable. This kind of stuff should be punishable 10 years in jail for every one of these. If this person gets caught, 390 years in jail. Put me in charge of crime in Canada and there'll be a lot of people in jail. $30,000 to $40,000 for each one. This is a disgrace. What's also a disgrace is this. It's 9 p.m. Niagara. Have you completed your 9 p.m. routine? This is coming from the Niagara Regional Police, their own Twitter account. Ensure all your valuables are secure. Cars, doors, and windows are locked, and alarms are activated if you have them. This is what people have to do every night in Niagara. This is insane. This is not Canada. The Liberals have essentially imported danger from the other side of the world. We didn't have this before. What have they brought in? It's not the doctors and engineers. Grew up in Canada when we didn't have to lock the doors. We didn't have to close our garage door. We'd have bikes and all sorts of stuff in there. Thousands of dollars of stuff people could just walk in and take, and no one took anything ever. My garage door was always open. Now we have stuff like this we see every single day. There's a guy way back here. There's a photo of him. Guy from South Asia just came out of a grocery store and it packed his bag full of steaks. That makes steaks more expensive for everyone else because if the steaks keep getting stolen, they have to increase the price of the steaks. This hurts Canadians. This hurts everyday Canadians. These kind of people...
Just following him here, the lady...
Sweep the leg, Johnny. These guys have to get punished.
Doing anything. It's about when you're coming here and you're stealing from grocery stores. Did you pay for that food? Yes or no? Did you pay for it? Yes or no? Did you pay for it? Yes. See, he can't even answer. So are you going to bring that to one of your restaurants? You're going to bring that to which restaurant? You think this is how you act when you come to this country, eh? You think that's how you act? No.
Good on this guy for humiliating this guy and scolding him. That's the very least. I'm glad I don't live in these areas where we see this stuff. I live in a small town. Otherwise, I would be sweeping the leg. I'd probably be getting in trouble. Be a man and steal it back. Moving ahead here, we've got a new prime minister in Japan. And as Pleb is pointing out here, she's a hardcore nationalist. She is not only a conservative, but a very right-leaning conservative, as in doesn't believe in same-sex marriage conservative. So she's talking about immigration here and basically is going to start deporting a bunch of people. This policy, we must pause it and reconsider it. Such people will be properly sent home, also regarding those who overstay illegally. She's cracking down on immigration. Interesting, we're getting country swinging far left and far right. And she's set to become Japan's first female prime minister. Where's Justin Trudeau congratulating her? The right is rising up around the world. Got this one from Table Salt. Canada is letting in child S offenders on visitor visas. That's right. Canada is letting a Pakistani man who was on the UK S offender registry into Canada in 2023 on a visitor visa. Why? This is disturbing that the government would allow these kind of people into our country. And as Table Salt points out here, he never left and is fighting deportation to Pakistan for fear of his life. I'm sure parents are fearing for their children's lives with this guy in our country. His niece is 10 years younger than the applicant. and was a minor when the relationship began. He was placed on the UK's S offender registry and released from prison after 3 years on conditions. Prior to serving the remainder of his sentence, he was moved to Spain in 2020, then relocated to Canada on a visitor visa in 2023. He did not disclose his criminal history on his Canadian visa application upon entry to Canada. This story sums up the Liberal government, where they literally allow monsters to come into our country and just makes things worse here. Deport him to Pakistan. Yeah, tomorrow, like yesterday, immediately. And with that, we've got Michelle Rempel-Garner bringing up this story in the House of Commons.
In 2017, Gulfam Hussain, a Pakistani national, was convicted of, in the United Kingdom, for, quote, adult sexual activity with a female family member aged 13 to 17, offender over 18, penetration. Said differently, Hussain had incestuous sex with his underage niece, and he was placed on the UK's sex registry. Yet in 2023, the Liberals granted Hussain a visa to enter Canada. Can the Liberals explain why they allowed a publicly listed incestuous child abuser into Canada?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Canadians' trust in their immigration system is paramount. That's why we're constantly working to improve immigration security screening processes, particularly in...
No, you don't get to answer the question like that. You can't say, oh, we're making things a little bit better day by day. Every day we're going to get a little bit better. We're always striving to be better. No, you can't answer the question like that when you guys let in an SA monster into our country. There should be criminal charges to the immigration minister at the time of this and to the Prime Minister for allowing this to happen.
Responses to new challenges and pressures. We have Border Bill C2, and I invite my colleagues to help us pass that bill that will further strengthen our immigration system.
Good job, Lena. The Honourable Member for Calgary-Nose Hill.
It seemed the Liberals couldn't do a simple Google search on a incestuous child abuser. Nonetheless, the person who let this person into Canada is now, thanks to the Prime Minister, our Justice Minister. And instead of deporting Hussain, right now the Liberals are letting him gum up Canada's court system. This is truly disgusting, and it's antithetical to what it means to be Canadian. And the person who allowed this incestuous child should be fired. So why did the Prime Minister promote the Immigration Minister who allowed an incestuous child into Canada to Minister of Justice?
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Oh, come on. Where's Sean Fraser? He needs to answer for his own sins.
Mr. Speaker, Canada has a robust system of determining who's admissible and who's not admissible to Canada, Mr. Speaker. I would like to just confirm.
So that's what they call robust. That's what they're admitting to. Canada has a robust system, which apparently allows in these monsters to just ravage our society. Come on in, guys. Ravage all our younglings. That's the robust system. Are women okay with this? Why do women vote for this party? Are they okay with this? The monsters are coming for your children now because the Liberals let them in.
That the Canada Border Service Agency is working to remove the largest number of people in Canadian history, Mr. Speaker. Over 20,000 people targeted to be removed who are inadmissible to Canada, and we're doing it as we speak, Mr. Speaker.
Why are they removing the largest amount of people in history? That's the question. Because you guys let them in.